System Shock 2 belongs to my top 5 ever best games list alongside UFO Enemy Unknown, plus sequel, Skyrim, Fallout New Vegas and probably Morrowind. System Shock 2 is from 1999 and although the graphics of the vanilla game are dated, it still has a thriving modding community and a huge fan base that helped to eliminate game bugs, vastly expand the capabilities of the engine and create thousands of mods for the game. The good news is getting it up to date, looking good and play smoothly is fairly easy. Another good news is you can get it on Steam for prices ranging from $1 to $5 depending on promotions. And the vanilla game takes roughly 500 megabytes. In this tutorial we will follow Salek's System Shock 2 modding guide on the Steam community, install more mods and configure the game. Remember not to install it in program files due to severe permissioning restrictions which can make modding this and other game a nightmare. Salek's guide and all the mods I will be installing are linked in the description of the video. As in most of my tutorials, I will present you with a list of mods you can copy from me. Later you can add your own choices. As the Blue Mod Manager features mod separation, you can install mods later and conveniently set the priority. The specific mod list presented in this video looks and plays like you can observe on the gameplay footage. Once you purchase the game on Steam, go to your Steam library, click on System Shock 2 and install it. Then choose a library that is not in your program files. In my case it's the H drive Steam library and click Next. Roughly 525 megabytes will be downloaded. After the game is downloaded and ready, click play once, go to the main menu, hit quit. This will make sure that all the registry keys in Windows are created and we are ready to go. When following my video, I encourage you to read the information on Salek's System Shock 2 guide. He also mentions about the program files folder and then he goes straight into the System Shock 2 tool. From here we will open the download page. This is systemshock.org, a portal for System Shock related topics where most of the System Shock 2 mods are located. You might want to register on this portal, as I already did, to have access to everything. And here's the tools thread with the link to the latest download, version 6.1.1.6. So click it, save it in the place where you will save all your System Shock 2 mod archives, click save, and then be careful because Windows 10 might block the file. To check if it's blocked or not, right click on it, go to properties, and here I can see it was blocked because it's a sole exe file, so it's treated by Windows as something dangerous, so I need to unblock it and apply. Now it's ready to use. I will copy it from here and paste it into my System Shock 2 main game directory. After doing so, let's right click properties and double check if it's not blocked again. It is not. Now when you are in the main game directory, that's the place where the sh2.exe is. Double click on the System Shock tool. A dialog pops out. System Shock 2 tool will now check online for updates. Please allow System Shock 2 tool and resync in your firewall. You might also be notified by your antivirus software, so you need to allow the connection. Now it says the local game content version is unknown. An update is recommended. If you accept the terms of agreement, click agree to continue. Then you have to select your System Shock 2 destination folder. That's where your game is installed and that corresponds to this folder over here. I see that it's pre-selected correctly. Perfect mode, and now the only available mode: updates known game files, resets configuration and removes unknown files. In this window I go through the game options. I don't want to use the soft bloom effect. It's up to you, but in my opinion it ruins the atmosphere. I don't want the multiplayer and I want everything else. As you can see, the System Shock tool will also install the dedicated Blue Mod Manager, and I don't want the game editor as well, so I can click install. The updates are now being received. I didn't get the firewall warning because I already allowed this program to connect in my firewall before, but you might get it from your antivirus software and from your Windows firewall, so don't forget to allow the communication. Once the process is finished, you will be prompted with a ding 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 sound from System Shock 2. The window says that it has finished and that the perfect mode is completed. You can click Finish. If you run your game now from the Steam library clicking play, you will notice already a vast improvement in how the game looks and behaves. That's due to the fact that the tool has installed all the community patches available as of today, and the game already looks and feels much better. However, we only just started modding. Now we will open the Blue Mod Manager that was installed by the System Shock 2 tool. It is located in the main game directory where your SHTUP-ND is, and it's called SS2BBM for Blue Mod Manager. You can right click on it, send it to your desktop to create a shortcut so that it's easy accessible for you. I will now run it just from here. A simple mod manager is shown to us. We have the option to install mod archives. I have resized the window of Blue Mod Manager to accommodate the purpose of this video better, and let me take you for a very brief guide through the basic features. It has the basic feature of installing mod archives, open mods folder, select game folder, activate and deactivate mods, and here's an interesting one: it can increase or decrease a mod's priority. It features mod separation. Every mod is in its own folder, and you can move the mods up or down in the priority list by clicking increase or decrease priority or using the Alt plus up or down shortcut on your keyboard, which is very convenient. Links to all the mods listed here are in the video's description, and I want you to first go through this list, open each link and download the file with the name shown here. As you can see on the screenshot from my previously modded game, I have SCP, this is the community patch beta 3 and beta 4 files. However, the SCP beta 3 is inactive because I've installed a newer version beta 4, and we will start with this position here. We will now install the unofficial community patch beta 4. Click install mod archives. In the place where I downloaded my System Shock 2 mods, I will have a file by that name, SCP beta 4, and indeed it's here. So I highlight it and click open. The file was installed, it's inactive now. I can straight away activate it. Now the mod will be visible in the game. Following Salex's guide, you can now install a total conversion mod like the System Shock Infinite. I will not cover this in that video. We will go straight to the graphical mods and other mods. Next up we have Vurt's high-res space textures version 1.1. So I go again here and search for the file, open and activate it. Another one is Object Fixes version 12. Object Fixes version 12, open and activate. SHTUP-ND beta 1. Install mod archive, pick the file, open. Some of them might take a few seconds as there are a lot of textures there, and activate the file. Where Am I? Extreme Retro. This is a music remake for System Shock 2. So install mod with archives, search Where Am I? Click activate. SS2 Vanky's vintage song remake. Another music remake. Click and activate. Because I am going in this priority order, when I activate the next mods, they are already placed in the correct priority. Now I will install the Vurt GUI Group Pod Vanilla 1.04. I have it here, Vurt GUI Group Pod Vanilla 1.04. And activate. Vurt GUI Dripping version 1.0. Install mod archives. Vurt GUI Dripping version 1.0. And activate. Vurt GUI Impact Blood version 1.0. And activate. SS2 Black Egg version 1.02. Black Egg version 1.02. And activate. SS2 Rebirth version 04A. SS2 Rebirth version 04A. And activate. SS2 Rebirth version 05. And activate. Real SG Rebirth version 1.02. That's the file. Open and activate. ACC FAM 20. That's a big texture replacer, might take a little longer. ACC FAM 20. And activate. Tactical Complete version 1.05. And activate. Erin Bloom. And activate. No Laser Droid. Open and activate. High-res player model. Vurt's SS2 Flora Overhaul version 10K. Vurt's SS2 Warm Pod version 10B. Vurt's SS2 Water version 5.1. And finally Crosshair Flat White. And this makes all the mods from my previous modding attempt before making this video activated. And that's it for installing the archives. Before we finish, let me quickly explain to you the mod priority list here. So the mod that is on the top, it wins. That means if another mod has the same file with the same file name in the same directory, we speak of a conflict. It is nothing bad, it is something very usual for modding games with multiple mods. In that case, Crosshair Flat White is the winner for any conflict if the same file with the same file name in the same directory would appear in any other mod. You can prioritize mods with the blue mod manager by selecting one of them and increasing or decreasing priority. So let me now increase the priority of high-res player model. I put it on the very top, and now high-res player model wins any conflict. Now I will decrease it back to its place, and let me tell you about this particular setup here. With this particular mods, they are working fine for me as they are here after a lot of experimentation, so you are free to use it, or if you want you can experiment by yourself. And as you can see on the guide by Salek, he is presenting his own little mod list with priority. He's also explaining it that you can have only one mod that has the game sys type. That's also true for my proposed configuration. Then he's explaining about mod priority here, and then he shows a list of mods that might be of interest, and I use most of them. Last on our list is editing the cam-ext.cfg file in your main game directory. I strongly advise before doing so to make a copy of it. To make a copy of this file, you can use the keyboard shortcut to Ctrl+C to copy it, and then Ctrl+V to paste it, and you will receive a copy. You can leave it like that or rename it to backup or something, but I know what I have here. And then open your cam-ext.cfg with Notepad, or if you have Notepad++ installed like I have, you can just double click it and it will open in Notepad++. We will start by making the changes that Salek is proposing here. Any option in the cam-ext.cfg that has the semicolon before it is disabled, so we will make sure that we enable it. Let's start with multi-sample type. So I will copy multi-sample type, then I will go to my Notepad++, Ctrl+F for search, and I will search for multi-sampling. Let's see. Multi-sampling type 8 is already selected for me. I mean the semicolon is not here, so it's active. So let's go to the next one, post-process 1. So let's find post-process. Post-process 1 is disabled. Now I enabled it by removing the semicolon. Bloom scale. Bloom scale 5, and Salek is proposing bloom scale 4. In that case I will remove the semicolon to activate it and change the value to 4. Bloom range, that must be somewhere here. Yes, it's 2, so the value is the same, and I just need to remove the semicolon. Bloom saturation 0.7, and finally bloom threshold. Bloom threshold is here, and I also remove the semicolon and change the value to 0.85. And that's it for editing the cam-ext.cfg according to Salek's guide. So now I will save the file. I saved it by clicking here, and I remember that I have a backup in my cam-ext-copy CFG, so I am secured. Now I have prepared these 3 files. This one is the original cam-ext copy. This one is Salek's version, and this one is my old version with a lot more bloom and ready to be used with the gamma of the game set to the very bottom. The only difference is my file uses forced window mode, borderless, and Salek's uses full screen. I will now show you a short game test of Salek's version and of my version to do a little comparison. So okay, now I started the game with Salek's cam-ext.cfg, and first of all, let's start a new game. I will not spoil the intro video for you. This is how it looks with the default gamma setting. Much too bright for me. And now I will show you how it looks with the gamma all down. I hope that the video will capture it, because I have problems in full screen mode that the gamma adjustment is not recorded in the video. Okay, and let's load up a save. So this is gamma down and Salek's settings for cam-ext.cfg. And the menu and HUD are also not scaled. I have it in my settings. Now we have the game loaded with my settings. The gamma is now in the middle. So I have also lowered a bit the voice volume because it was very loud. Let's turn down the mouse sensitivity. Now I will reduce the gamma to minimum. And this is how I like it. I hope that the video is capturing that, but I tested before and it was. You see the lights are very strong now, and otherwise everything is dark. This is how I like to play that game, and I provide these settings to you in the link in the video description to Google Drive, where you can download this cam-ext.cfg. Now let's load up the same save. Strong lights and dark areas. This is how it works now. You can see the bloom lighting really strong. But there are some much darker areas. I really love the atmosphere of this game. It's complicated, it got puzzles. Map markers are very important, and you can really do a lot with the map markers. You can edit them. When I take the map, you can see now the head-up display is bigger, it's scaled. This is the mini-map, and when I place a marker now, here is one marker, for instance. I am here now, one marker is here. I can edit it and rename. I named it Quantum Simulation to remember what kind of device there is, because I need to find some part for it. And there are 7 decks on this huge spaceship, and you can go everywhere if you find the way. So this is a true open world experience from 1999, and I tell you, I love this game. You can listen to logs.
I don't feel right about any of this. I still don't understand why you asked me to mess with the memory restoration on that grunt.
There's a lot of very sophisticated mechanics in this game. Now I will take Cyber Affinity, and now I will hack the container. And there are a lot less of the red nodes that are dangerous. And it's hacked. And the beautiful lights. These regenerate bioreconstruction machines, and then you will be reconstructed if you die. But if you did not activate any on a certain level, then you will not be reconstructed. And these things here, these are bulkheads. So the bulkheads, they transfer me to another part of the deck and into another. There are a lot of them here. This is like a centerpiece, like a corridor. And here's the elevator. I can reach decks that I already made accessible. I will show you Med side. This is where the game basically starts. There is much freedom of movement. You can crawl through windows, you can break glass, break some windows. Some of them are enforced and unbreakable. Like this one, luckily. And he knows. And I cannot hack him. This is an unbreakable window. And all these logs, they tell a story.
Simulation Unit 4 just went offline again. It took the 6 of us 12 hours to get it back online the last time. I hacked into the data log file, and the last user online, Malik. Oh, he denied it, of course. I told Bronson about it, and that paranoid crank showed up here with around 14 security men looking for blood. But she couldn't prove that Malik actually did anything. Christ,
and if you
why would anybody want to sabotage
body
the
parts
sim
of
units?
the enemies, then it's easier to kill them.
Are we joined?
So there's so much mechanics in this game. It's really great. Cannot praise it enough. There's a turret. I'll be a goner soon. Alright, so game test succeeded. My cam-ext.cfg file works perfectly. So there we have it, my perfect System Shock 2. I will be uploading this part of the game test also in full resolution for you to see, so you can have a look at the full quality. Thank you for watching the tutorial. It's fairly easy. You can achieve that in maybe 2 or 3 hours, so I think it's totally worth it. And I see you all in the next videos.